Hello everybody, it's the Game Judge here, and we recently just received news from Todd Howard, the man himself, that there's going to be some updates incoming and a new DLC, Shattered Space for Starfield. And this kind of got me thinking, can this save Starfield? And before I dive into answering that question, I want to roll the clip here where Todd Howard talks about Shattered Space DLC, and then we're going to be receiving it in the fall. And then after that, I want to talk about some of the updates he talked about as well. Now, this was according to a interview with Kind of Funny Games, and I'll go ahead and roll the clip.
And in the update that we have coming, I think it's going to get announced in a few days, actually, this week, and be up on Steam beta. It's got some great stuff for shipbuilding in it as well.
Is that for the big update, Shattered Space, or is this just an update?
This is a separate update.
Okay.
Shattered Space is in the fall, but we have a big update that's coming really soon for Starfield. Does a lot of stuff.
So as you can see, we didn't get a lot of information in regards to the Shattered Space DLC. We at least got some idea of a release date sometime in the fall. Then some of the updates he talked about, he mentions that there's going to be some smaller updates in the next few days. Also, I think it's great that Todd Howard mentioned that there's going to be an update in the next couple days for the shipbuilding. I think that was one of the stronger areas in Starfield. So it'll be interesting to see what that update is. And then he also mentioned there's going to be a bigger update in the future. Now, this one I'm really concerned with because the last update we received from Starfield I felt was kind of lame, to be honest. There was like the photo mode and with the digilocks or whatever. I just think the update was very underwhelming. So hopefully this big update actually makes some big changes to the game. Maybe some more POIs, or maybe they fix some of the NPCs' facial expressions. I don't know. Those are big areas that I would look at, aside from just a bunch of bug fixes. And thankfully, Todd Howard goes on later to the interview to give us an update about what Bethesda is going to be doing with city maps and Starfield.
We redid the map stuff, so we have some city map stuff.
And he also talked about the Starfield creation kit. Now, I know a lot of the modders are already giving up on Starfield, so I'm not so sure how much this is going to help. And that leads me to my question. Can these updates, can this DLC save Starfield? Can Starfield pull a Cyberpunk 2077 with Bethesda updating it over time and making it into a good game, kind of how Cyberpunk 2077 is now? And to be honest with you, I don't think Bethesda can pull this off. I think at its core, Starfield has some really big issues. And one of the biggest issues, I think, is the world density, meaning that there's just too much empty space relative to things like POIs and cities and just things that kind of fill in the space. It's just too empty. And then the NPCs are terrible. Their facial expressions are bad. They're dull. They're boring. I feel like they're not well written. So I don't think these issues can be fixed. I think the core of the game is just not there. And not to mention their recent Fallout 4 update, the next gen update, it didn't do very well. And I guess it messed with some of the modding things that the modding community could do. And I gotta tell you, things just don't look good for Bethesda, and they've kind of lost my goodwill personally. I will say, I will give them credit that they mentioned they're gonna do more stuff with the shipbuilding, more stuff with the city maps that it desperately needs, although I wish they would have came out with it in the first place, and it's a shame that it took them this long. I think it was a horrible decision to not include city maps. I mean, I think it's just one of the basic things you should include in these types of games. But that's just my opinion. What do you guys think? Do you guys think that Starfield can be saved? Do you think they can pull a Cyberpunk 2077? Personally, I don't think they can, but I'm curious what you guys think. Let me know in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching. I hope to see you all on the next one.